I'm going to have to be honest and say that I'm pretty embarrassed to have to share this kind of story. Because nobody really wants to talk about luggage, their stuff, personal belongings, and any kind of cockroach infestation, things along those lines. However, hi Caleb. However, we think that it's too important to share our experience. So we're going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about what happened on our way back from trip today. We just got done with a 10-day vacation, 10 days not including travel. We took our son on his very first cruise, and that was the first week of it. And then we spent our last 3 days of our vacation with my grandparents in northern part of Florida. Grandma took us on a little golf cart ride so we could find us an alligator. We had to rent a car. We rented a car from Fox Rent-A-Car out of the MCO airport and in Orlando. We had the car midday on Sunday, all day Monday, all day Tuesday, and then we had to return the vehicle before 4 o'clock Wednesday morning today. Because we had such a long trip, those 10 days, we each had to have our own luggage. So we had 3 big luggages, 2 that roll around, 1 duffel bag, and then we each had a backpack each. And when we got to my grandparents' house, we didn't need all of that for that trip. So what we ended up doing is we left 2 of our bags, the duffel bag and our red suitcase inside of the rental car, with just the stuff that we weren't going to use for that 3 days. We were in Florida. We're going to do a lot of swimming, just wearing some shorts, hanging around the house. We didn't have to get dressed up, nothing fancy. So what we could wear all fit into one suitcase. We instantly get in the car. You get into a rental car thinking, okay, I just want to get to where I'm going. I'm exhausted, just got off a cruise, blah, blah, blah. And we traveled to Auburndale. We got out of the vehicle. We didn't notice anything at that time. It was the next day when we went out to get something to eat, and Stacy said that she saw what she thought was a bug crawl across the floor. Realistically, thinking nothing of it, just okay, so she saw a bug, whatever the case was. No big deal. We just kind of brushed it off. We didn't use our car much. I mean, we literally drove the car for about 20 minutes on Monday, maybe a little bit longer, about a half hour on Tuesday type of thing. Huh?
I still feel itchy.
Yeah. Yeah, I just got done taking a shower, and I was literally itching all flight home. So just
it makes you paranoid.
Yeah.
Everything.
Thinking something's crawling on you the whole time. But so Monday, that's what she saw. On Tuesday, it was Tuesday afternoon. We went out to a park. We hung out a little bit. We got something to eat. We came back to the house. It was dark, and I noticed a bug on the floor. And this time the bug stopped where it was. So, I got up close to it and I snapped a picture with it with the flash on my phone. Got an up close picture of it. You'll see that, this is a cockroach. Now, this was Tuesday night. Not sure exactly what time, but it was later in the afternoon, late enough that it was dark. I had to use a flash to take the picture. And we had to wake up for our flight at 2:45 a.m. Our bags have already been inside of the vehicle for the last 48 straight hours. So there's nothing at this point that it would benefit us to be like, hey, you guys got to get us another rental car. Our bags are already in there. If there is, in fact, an infestation inside of this vehicle, our bags are already in there. They're probably already infested anyways. I can't take my bags out of the car and put them in my grandparents' house now, because then I risk the possibility of getting bugs in her house. So we leave the bags in there for the last night. We go to bed. We got like 5.5 hours of sleep. We wake up, go out to the car with our last luggage, and as I open up the trunk, when we open up the trunk, we see them we see like 4 or 5 of them crawl over the bag. I end up killing one, but we saw them crawling over the bag. So now this is the reason. This is the reason why she's still itching and I was itching all day. It's just like you just feel
we saw
like
several more at that point, and you realize that 2 of the things that you have to realize is that they thrive in the 75 to 80 degree weather, which means Florida. They're more common than in other places. That doesn't excuse a rental car being invested with them, but it's more likely to happen. And then also we were driving to the airport at 3 a.m. and that's when we saw the most of them. And that's because they're nocturnal. So we didn't see them, we didn't notice them because they're hiding. And even once I saw the one, I looked around. I didn't see anything that made me think anything more of it.
Yeah, so there was nothing we could do at that point. It was 2:45 in the morning. Our flight was at 6:45. There was an hour drive. East. We have to catch our flight. There's no choice in the matter. And we still got to go to the rental place, drop off the rental car. So, I mean, there was nothing we could do at that point. We were stuck living in this terrible situation. And that's kind of part of the embarrassing part, is that now we're telling you a story about how we had to live inside of a vehicle for an hour drive that's infested with roaches. And that just, we're just squirming all day. That ride was, in my head, I was cringing the entire time.
Oh yeah, like anytime you feel anything, you're itchy, and you're like, oh my god, it's not a bug.
Yeah.
Is it in my shoe?
At the time, I was being a little ignorant. I'm just like, hey, the flight will probably kill anything, even if anything got into the bag. I mean, the bags are closed.
Being hopeful. I think
what are the odds that there's actually anything inside of the bag? The bags were zipped up, closed. What's the point? There's not going to be anything in there. So we take the flight home. We did a layover in Philadelphia. We get back to Cleveland a few hours ago. We're back up to the garage. We're going to do everything of this the precautious way, just to be sure.
So we were back at home, ready to unpack, and in our rental car we noticed a couple bugs scurrying around here and there. And so we got home and we were checking everything to see if we brought anything home, and we did. There's roaches in our luggage.
And we found a handful just crawling around one of the bags. We open up the very first bag, and lo and behold, you see inside of our bag is where we have our
toiletry bag.
Our toiletry bag. It's a blue toiletry bag, and you see right on the outside there's probably 3, 4, 5, whatever. There's a handful of cockroaches that are still alive, and my heart just drops. I'm just thinking of, no way they got inside the bag. So now our third suitcase had to go in the vehicle to get to the airport. So now we're paranoid about all of them. So we one by one go through each of our bags. We tore all of our clothes out of each one of the bags, threw them into trash bags, because now we don't know what to do with our clothes. How are we gonna, they could be anywhere. So we throw all.
I'm worried about eggs. We haven't talked about that yet, but eggs, are they harder to kill? Because a lot of times that's true for certain bugs. So I'm gonna just assume that that's the case for cockroaches.
One by one, we're throwing away our suitcases, which sucks. So these are the only suitcases we have left. We just threw away our other suitcase before this trip, and each one of those plus the what is it called again? The toiletry bag. All are in the trash, and right now all of our clothes are in garbage bags outside in the garage. Now it's 30-degree weather, so doing all this in the bitter cold after we just got back from Florida surely was a bummer.
Yeah, that sucked to get back from vacation, to find bugs in your suitcase, and to have to spend an hour or more dealing with it when you really just want to get home and relax, and you can't. We
dropped off the vehicle at 4 o'clock this morning. We pulled up, and somebody comes to your vehicle and they take the keys and they mark the car as returned type of thing. And I let that person know, so I just want you to know that car has cockroaches in it. That car was infested when we picked it up. So we just want you to be aware of that. And the lady looks at me and she goes, okay, well, you're going to get a survey. So when you get the survey, just make sure that you write your comments in the survey. I go inside, I grab a receipt, and the lady happened to ask, how was everything? And I just, I want you to know that you probably shouldn't be renting that car out. This is when we were hopeful that the bags were just going to be fine. All we said was that, that car has cockroaches. I wasn't asking for anything. I didn't say hey, we need a refund, we need this free, whatever the case. We just let them know, hey, you need to probably do a real good clean on that car before you do anything with it. And the lady hands me back my receipt, and she goes, hey, I took $14 off your price. Now, the price was $161.59 for a 3-day rental on a car. But the lady dropped it down to $147 without me even asking. And all she says, she hands me a receipt back, and she goes, here you go. I took $14 off. And I go, what'd you take $14 off for? She goes, for the cockroaches. I'm like, what?
It's a joke.
You took off.
So you're acknowledging that there's cockroaches in the car, and you're going to give me $14.
And she said, well, that's all I can do. I can take 10% off. That's what they ended up doing, right? Now, fast forward a little bit to when we
get our bags.
Take a couple of pictures, take some videos. Stacy ended up doing a Twitter post just letting Fox know, like, hey, like, this is what we got. We got a bag full of roaches now. So our luggage is now infested with roaches. And they respond back asking for our rental agreement number.
You say, I'm sorry to hear this. Can you send us the rental agreement number, private message them or whatever? So I do. And I actually offer, we have a picture of the roach inside the car. If you'd like that, we can do that. Finally, they respond saying, we're sorry this happened. We can go ahead and give you either a credit to use our service again.
For $100.
Which we don't want to do.
Yeah.
Or I can give you $50 more off of your bill. Also, not really what we want. It's nice to get $50. It's fine, but that's not going to cover the bags that we threw away. And if we get, I told her, if our house gets infected with roaches, that's not going to be enough.
$50 isn't going to cover one of the suitcases that we threw away, let alone the fact that we had to throw away 2, and we had to throw away our... What's the bag?
Toiletry?
Our toiletry bag. And I still have our third bag. It's all 100% plastic duffel bag. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do about it yet. It's sitting outside in the garage, and I'm thinking that we're going to throw it in the washer, and I'm going to keep that one. It might be one of those things that just bothers me for the rest of my life. She messaged back just like, that's not even going to cover any part of our luggage that we just threw away. So, don't even worry. Yeah, that's not what we're looking for.
And what's funny is that someone responded to our Twitter post. It was something I didn't know. That just commented and said, oh no. And then a few minutes later, they're like, hey, Fox, can we get out of our rental agreement? I'm waiting in line for an hour right now, and I see posts about cockroaches. I don't want to use you.
Funny kind of story is we waited about an hour to an hour 15 minutes to pick up our car when we went to Fox Rental. A short period of time later, they send another private message to Stacy saying, hey, you know what? We just refunded $75 on your card. Here you go. We didn't ask for it. We told them, the $50 doesn't really do a dent in regards to the luggage that we lost.
$75 still isn't enough. Yeah, so total it's about $90 is what they gave us back. So it's about half of what we paid.
However, we have luggage that we need replaced. Yeah, so we're going to be purchasing luggage sometime over the next couple of days, and that's going to be pretty annoying in regards to doing it.
So right now we're about ready to go to the store to go buy some roach traps and whatever else we want to do. I'm not a big fan of using the extreme bomb stuff. That's gonna just jack our clothes and it's unhealthy and stuff like that. So I'd rather not. But I also would rather not have roaches in my house. So
I'm almost just thinking about just throwing all of it away.
It doesn't cross my mind. It's like that when you get a spider in your house and you burn the house down.
Yeah, you burn the house down with a torch.
An accurate response. We ended up packing all the things that were specifically for the cruise that we wouldn't be using for our time in Florida, which meant more of our nice clothing.
I have 2 expensive suits in that bag.
And you can't wash those. You can't put those in in hot wash.
I'm gonna be honest with you that she said it something like this can happen. You can get a vehicle that's gonna have roaches in it. Will they catch that kind of thing every single time?
Right.
No, I understand that. But it's all about what you do to recover the situation.
Yeah.
And in this case, when you offer $14, when I bring it up to your attention, that's kind of embarrassing. And then I get that I only paid $161. Now I only paid $147. So you can only offer back so much stuff. But every once in a while, you have to just realize what makes the most sense. What is doing the customer service right when this kind of thing happens.
So when I was looking at the reviews and stuff, I don't think this company cares about their perception. They are the cheapest people out there, and so people are going to use them regardless of what is out there being said about them. And so maybe that's the reason that they don't care. And that's the reason we won't use them again. I'll tell you that.
So this was important for us to share our story with you, and hopefully it'll at least open your eyes when you are deciding, a car rental place or anything that you do.
Even a quick Google search was enough to come up with nothing came up with roaches.
Yeah.
But
Fox Rent a Car, today's a thumbs down for you. As my son would say, deuces. We out.